here in the next month. We'll have that on the agenda for the 25th. So, and I'll be at City of Richmond meeting, and then the Berea Council meeting also this month. Okay. I'm going to turn it over to Laney to give you all a briefing on what we're accomplishing.
Thank you, Scott. Good morning, everybody, and good morning, everybody out here, and thank you all for using your power to make a difference in the community. They call me the Earth Man. Lots of kids across the nation. I'm a North American Environmental Educator of the Year, and my focus is using the power of music and the arts to educate, activate, and inspire people to take care of our environment. I am here in Kentucky from South Florida as an artist in residence, starting in Clark County. I've been to every school in Clark County, and then Scott came up and saw what I was doing and said, hey, let's bring you into our county. We started last spring in the summer with phase 1 of our Please Don't Litter project, and we've been to 2 or 3 of the elementary schools here in the community, and then a bunch of the summer camps that were here, and then a project here in Berea, a Please Don't Litter project in concert. And coming up, we've got not only the Spoonbread Festival and Kids Fest, which was just last weekend, where I'm doing concerts at, but I've been invited and honored to do a concert before the vice presidential debate. And it's going to be a Please Don't Litter concert. I've put out invitations to both vice presidential candidates to join us on stage with the kids and to say, hey, we might not agree on everything, but when it comes to littering, we stand together in asking Americans, please don't litter. You know, litter affects so much of our community. I know when everybody drives around through Madison County, you're going to see litter. As Scott and I have been driving around, and there's litter on the highways, and no matter how good Scott and his crew are out there on the county roads, you still have the state roads and the interstate highway. And there's a lot of trash out there, and trash affects the economy. Trash affects the health of our community. In fact, scientists are finding cigarette butts in the fish in Kentucky. So we have a problem on our hands, and it's a problem that's a choice. It's a choice whether to throw something on the ground or not. So what we want to do, and we're committed to doing, is making Madison County the cleanest county in all of Kentucky. To have the honor of standing up and saying, hey, it's a choice, and we don't want you to litter, and the place to start is with our children. Because our children still believe that all things are possible, and they're excited to make a difference not only in school, but they're excited to make a difference at home and leading with their families. So our Phase 2 project is to go into the schools and develop, as I did down in South Florida in Miami-Dade County with over 200 elementary schools, a program that teaches about not littering and using your power to make a difference, using English, math, and science skills that are tied into not only the Kentucky state standards, but are tied into helping the teachers teach towards the state testing. That's what we did in South Florida, and it was very effective because other than that, if you're not teaching towards the test, you cannot get into the schools these days. So we created a simple lesson plan and student worksheet, which we did this in South Florida, and we're going to do it here, which will help the children understand what it means if you have 60 or 600 bags of trash and they each weigh 5 pounds apiece. They're going to do the math. And they're going to do science within that and understanding what happens when cigarette butts go into the wastewater system through the grates in the city because people throw them on the ground. And they're going to understand by their writing what they can do for English skills, what they can do to make a difference at home, which is an awful lot. Kids have a lot of power. I know probably a lot of you know kids who talked you into, your own kids, who talked you into recycling or doing something to make a difference. Well, we're going to harness that energy of the children who want to do it. And so we start, not only are we going to be going into the schools, but then Earthman is going to follow into the schools with an event for our targeted audience, which is 4th and 5th grade, and help to inspire those kids and teach those kids how to lead at home and get them ready to make a lifetime commitment. Not a day commitment, not a week commitment, but a commitment that any one of us should have for the rest of our lives, which is never throw anything on the ground again, because it affects everything. You know, today's a very special day in history. It's the anniversary, I'm sure everybody knows, of 9/11. And we recommit ourselves to taking care of our nation. Well, one of the things that is not taking care of our nation is when we throw trash on the ground. Nobody in here would throw an aluminum can or a cigarette butt on the American flag. But how many people in here, and I'm not asking you to raise your hand, would throw a cigarette butt on the ground? Because that's America. The ground is America. And how many people sit at McDonald's in their car and eat, and instead of walking 2 feet over to put their trash in a trash can, just toss it out the window on the roads. Just drive around and see how many McDonald's, Burger King, Kentucky Fried Chicken bags there are out there. That's a choice they're making. And what we want to do is remind everybody and inspire them to join us in never doing that again and make this the cleanest county in Kentucky. So we can be proud about that and change the future here. And that's what our program is about. We have money from the litter abatement funding, which has begun to fund my work with you all. And we need to be raising some more money to continue the process, because as I did with the Berea Chamber of Commerce, I spoke with them back in phase 1, and I'd like to continue working here in this county to complete the goal that we have set for you all. And so I thank you very much for you. I have CDs from our outreach so you can dance in your car and sing along. And anybody that wants to make a commitment to never throw trash on the ground can have a bumper sticker that says, "Keep the bluegrass clean, please don't litter." And you can put it on your car or wherever you want to, but so other people, or in your businesses. A lot of businesses are putting them on the window. And that's the other small, I'm going to finish this second, that's the other small piece. We really need the Chamber of Commerce, as the businesses, to step up. And it's easy enough that when I buy a burger at McDonald's, for them to say, "Thank you for shopping at McDonald's," or "Thank you for shopping at Walmart, and please don't litter." But I won't mention which company told me they were concerned about saying "please don't litter" to their customers, because their customers might get angry because we're telling them what to do. So we need a combined effort with the Chamber of Commerce's and the businesses to step up any way they can to remind their customers to please don't litter. It really is the patriotic thing to do. So thank you, and I look forward to working with as many people as possible. Thank you. CD. And you're invited to come sing along in any of these concerts. After your sinuses are cleared up. Thanks.
I appreciate you for what you do. You know, truly, the roadsides sometimes does look awful as trash been thrown out. And, you know, if we can recommend and try to promote more and more not littering, it's a big cost, as Scott says. You know, even as the fall cleanup is the money it costs us to be able to clean the roads up. It ain't cost effective, it ain't free, but it costs us everybody and the taxpayers money. So, you know, if we can promote a cleaner county, and it always looks beautiful. I mean, especially right now, the grass has grown up some and you can't see the trash, but in the wintertime we're getting ready to face, and it seems like our roads just look like a dump. So, you know, if we can promote more not littering, keep the roads clean, it'd make our county look beautiful.
Thanks, Greg. Scott, do you have anything else?
Good to go.
Okay. All right. Other department heads. Michelle.
Good morning. Just a quick informational report for everybody. Right now we have 41 on home incarceration. We have 2 that are on standby. They've been assigned certain dates to come into our office and be hooked up, take care of their paperwork and so forth. And we have 2 that's been sitting in jail for about a week or 2 weeks that have some bond issues. If not, that gets resolved. is upon them. Once they get resolved, we're more than glad to take care of them. But just want to let you know where we're standing at right now as far as our amount of people that we have on home incarceration.
Tell us a little bit, Shell, about the finances. I mean, are most of them paying customers?
About 80% of ours are paying customers. We have not had the issue yet of seeing where the ones that aren't paying, that are on the sliding scale of no pay, are hurting us any. I think as far as no pays altogether, we probably had 3 people that are just absolute total no pays whatsoever based upon their income. Otherwise, 80% of them are paying either the full amount or the $8 rate, which is the next step down.
Okay, and then on the 25th, I think, because I've had members of the court talk to me about, could we get a report on expenses and what it's bringing in, kind of a balance sheet?
Yes, sir.
On
More
how the
than glad
office
to.
is going? I think we'd all like to see that.
Yes, sir, more than glad to. In that, would you like to include the budgetary
Yes.
expenditures that I have as well as fuel and so
Mhm.
forth? Yes,
Be
sir.
fine. Thank you very much.
When, aren't you scheduled to be in school?
Yes, sir. The
Can you
training.
explain why?
The training that they have is every 6 months, the satellite company updates and goes to new monitors. They will weed out the ones that we have and send us new ones. The training on this time, this training will base upon trying to go to a new RF system. There are certain areas in our community where you cannot get cell phone service and we do not pick up, and they feel the RF system for those areas will be a lot better. There are 6 breakdown sessions in all. The RF system is one of them. One is more advanced training in what you know, and just kind of give you a brief idea. If you're all like me, until a theory is tested, you just really don't have a lot of faith in it. And a couple of weeks ago, I got to test our computer system and how that works. We had a gentleman who decided at 11:30 at night he would leave his home. We found that there's between roughly a 30 to 60 second delay in information from that monitor to our computer. I spent 2 hours chasing him around town as my part-timer was telling me play-by-play what streets he was going to. Ended up going out to exit 95, getting off there, turns on Brooks Road, comes off Brooks Road. I know it's a one-way in, one-way out. I get behind him. Just as soon as I get behind him, of course, no one can track him. He reaches down, cuts his monitor off, throws it out the window, keeps on driving. Rule 1. After I found it, just a little late to cut it off, throw it out the window. But it was nice to know it was the first time the system's ever been tested as far as thorough knowledge of understanding the time frame difference of the information getting to us, the accuracy of the information, and I mean, it's accurate. It could even tell us how fast he was driving on the interstate. So the class in California will extend upon that. It's a totally non-county funded trip. Satellite company pays for all of it. It's all out of their pocket down to what you eat. They also have a breakdown on juveniles, which I realize we're not there yet, but when we get to that point, it will be nice to have the knowledge of this is what we're going to need to do this with. They will also have more breakdowns of better ways to print out reports, new reports you can print out with the new system and the new upgrades that are going on.
Well, you're a part-timer. How much more time's he got?
I'll lose him in October.
Is he gonna be able to handle this while you're gone?
We got lucky with this because the court systems are closed Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so I will adjust his hours to Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, so we'll be covered while I'm gone. The judges have a judicial college going on next week, so there'll be no courts on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Well, it's probably about time for us to go on that to hire somebody, aren't you?
Well, we're looking at that. Michelle and I are talking, and then I'll bring a report to the court.
Okay. Fine, thank you.
Any other questions?
Sounds good.
Thank you. Any other department heads?
How many you got in jail, though?
280s.
280?
280s.
Well, that's 320 if you count these.
Yes.
With the new House bill, is it the law enforcement, or are they still just arresting everybody? Yeah,
No, it's,
You wind up with people oftentimes spending more time because they weren't arrested to begin with, because they're cited, don't appear. Then when you do serve them, they've got not only the original charge plus the contempt for failing to appear as well. We are running probably higher now than we were prior to the passage of the House bill.
but the House bill does open up some options for counties, and Doug and I are working right now. We're not going into it right now, but we're working right now on something that would be just great for the jail and the fiscal court. And we'll have a report probably in the next 30 days or something. Okay, any other department heads? If not, comments from magistrates. Greg?
Everything's running pretty smooth. This is, man stated a while ago about today being 9/11. You know, we all want to hold our family members a little closer and always remember, you know, we're not vulnerable again, but that we all ought to really appreciate each other and the life that we have. And those that lost their lives 11 years ago, you know, families that was changed forever. And truly, we need to always look back and recollect of how much each other means to each other. So, other than that, that's all.
Thanks. You know, and you brought that up, and I don't know if this happened, but we were in court in Richmond when 9/11 happened. I remember it clearly because the girls came in and got me. And we had a moment of silence and then broke and everybody was watching the TV and stuff. But it was interesting that it followed again today with court. Roger, do you have anything?
No, I just wanted to commend Scott while he was up there and didn't do it. He does a good job at his recycling and solid waste department. I've never asked him to check on something that he just didn't get right on it, unless he couldn't. But he's always got back to me, and I think with the recycling the way it's went, that it just proves that sometimes you got to change things a little bit and it comes out for the better, or sometimes it's going to cost you. But I think it's a great program, and one that even if it did cost us a little money, it's something that needs to be done about cleaning up our county as well as the ones around us. But, the other thing that the gentleman mentioned, we all know if you can get the kids to do something, usually the parents follow suit. And good proof of that is I wouldn't wear a seatbelt to my kids, just stayed on to me to put your seatbelt on. And I finally learned out of habit, you know, you wear the thing. So I think that's a good idea that if you start with the children, you know, they can talk the parents into doing the right thing. That's all I got.
Okay, Bill Ray?
I was thinking about that 9/11 because I remember that court meeting, and we had a fairly contentious zone change discussion going on. I don't know if you recall that or not. And it was very important to those folks at that time. But we were sitting there. I was sitting there thinking. I said, because there's great uncertainty. We had the twin towers had been flown into, and we really didn't really know what was going on. But I was sitting there thinking. I said, man, it kind of put things in perspective. Zone change, but the country we was under attack, and it's an unforgettable time, unforgettable feeling, and you know, and I'm sure everyone here remembers where they were at that time. So it's time to reflect. It's a good time to reflect and think about that.
Larry?
Well, you had me by your side. That should have made you feel better.
I was pretty comfortable to see you there, Larry.
The only thing I would say is we've had a problem on a bridge on Scaffold, which is not our road, but we do the maintenance on it. If you've ever passed it or crossed it or whatever, it's rougher than that in jail. But thanks to Leroy and Willie, they've been down there milling and should have it done today. Is that correct? And then I did, that's one of the reasons I was late. I met with some state officials on Scaffold Cane at the top where, you know, they come around when they was doing all the other work on Prospect and the washboard. So they're going to build that down and blacktop it. So I just passed that on to the public.
Okay, good deal. Thanks, Larry. Good job. Okay, any comments from the audience? Debbie?
I wasn't going to get up again, but I just want to thank you for your remarks about 9/11. I am your token New Yorker, so to speak. And I can't barely sit there without crying because I have people in my family who are still affected by this. And I beg you to never forget, never forget what took place that morning. The whys and the wherefores of it as well. Not just let's commemorate it, just all the facts about it. Please do not forget it. I praise God every day that my husband's career was done with the fact that his accounts, his state accounts that he serviced were in those buildings. I praise God that he was done with that. One of my cousins was in the building when the 92 attempt on the parking lot took place. My brother is still in a program for his health. He worked down the street from there and breathed in all the debris. So there are people that are affected by that. I know we're removed from that because we're Kentucky, and you know that my heart is here now, but there is a mural being dedicated today at 6 o'clock over at one of the EKU buildings. If any of you can be there, it'll be a very moving experience, I'm sure. But thank you once again.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Any other comments from the audience? Not a motion to pay the claims and approve. Oh, Mike, I'm sorry.
Judge, I'd like to bring it attention to the court. We didn't know till last Wednesday, late Wednesday afternoon, that a lady came in and advised our office that they were having a festival at Boonesboro State Park this weekend, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. It's called the Jubilo Musical Festival. And it's Thursday from 6 to about 1 in the morning, and then Friday, Saturday from 12 to about 1 in the morning. They're requesting the sheriff's office and the state police to work security for this event. They do have a waiver through the state to have alcohol on the state grounds there on those 3 days. So I just wanted the court to be aware of that festival. Like I said, it's Thursday, Friday, and Saturday this weekend, 13th, 14th, and 15th.
Okay. Thanks, Mike. All right. Anything else? If not, motion to pay the claims and approve the transfers.
So moved. Second.
Master King?
Yes.
Master Barker?
Yes.
Master Hughes?
Yes.
Master Cole?
Yes.
Master Clark?
Yes. 25th, next court date. Hope to see everybody here. And a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Yes.
Yes.